Hey guys, Coach Chris here, and I'm going to be taking you through a 15-minute interval workout with your hybrid rope. We're going to be performing both jump and flow elements for 45 seconds of work and 15-second breaks. I'll have an on-screen timer for you to make that simple. Feel free to get your own if you prefer. For the jump elements today, I'm going to be using the long center cord, which is marked with the black clip, and I'll be using the light elastic resistance band, which is marked with that black color. We'll then switch out, clip in to our short center cord, which is marked with that gray clip, and then using that heavier elastic resistance band, which is marked blue, for our flow elements, which we'll be performing an underhand race and chase today. So this workout we're gonna do, this interval series, it's real nice. We're gonna do 15 minutes a day. I think that's a really nice way to have this become like a daily practice, a good little 15-minute session, get some aerobic capacity. This is also a great one that you can sort of add or subtract intervals in it, and you can utilize it in maybe a more high-intensity strength and conditioning day, or something like that if you're working that side of your training as well. So I'm going to do a little 10-second countdown here. That should be plenty of time to sort of gather and clip in your setups here. We're going to get to business. We're going to start with our jumping element, as I already have that set up here, and we're going to be playing around with just a basic single under. You can also sort of play around with a skip element and let the feet alternate, but we may adjust that as we go through here. So we're going 45 seconds of work, nice little easy pace to start. You may not even be feeling a lot of draw on that elastic on the hybrid rope yet. I don't mind us sort of just keeping it simple for now. You do want to focus, so it's going to be easy to sort of fall into this wrist work with this, where you'll notice how I'm like throwing the thumb forward. When we're jump roping with bearing like this, we want to try to keep the thumbs back, drawing that intent into the back side of the body a little more, and keeping those bearings right off to the side of the body, working with them. Nice little easy pace, and 45 seconds is up. 15-second break to catch your breath, but also to unclip your hybrid rope, clip into our second setup here. And we're gonna play around with this flow element. So we're gonna do an underhand race and chase. We're gonna take a split stance, right hand on top of left. We're slicing up with the rope, keeping it easy now, just getting familiar with the rope, getting familiar with our weight shift, the stance we've taken. Every time we get to this exercise, we're gonna change up our stance, and we're also gonna change up the grip that we're using to wield the hybrid rope. This one, we want a little more of that wrist articulation that we're going to be trying to avoid a little bit with the rope when we jump it. Nice, all right? We clip right back out. Should be nice and easy. Make sure when you're doing those clips, you get that top of that clip, press in and pull out. Back to our skip rope or jump rope, singles. Again, focusing on sort of turning the wrists forward or the thumbs out. That'll get you working with the bearing a little better and playing around with just that traditional 2-foot single under like that, or you can play around with like a little skip, alternating foot if you prefer. Just breathing easy. Starting to warm up a little bit. You might start noticing you want to push that band out a little more or draw that band away. So putting more effort into the rope, you'll start feeling that elastic stretch, and that'll start making you more integrated into that jump rope experience. We'll clip back into our heavy setup. We're going to change our stance. So left in front of right, and this time I'll put left on top. And we're just doing this underhand race and chase. We like to say pinky up, pinky up. So if you get that nice little slice of the pinkies up, It helps encourage that side bend or that full shifting of your weight. Just breathing easy. As of this point, we're not really actively trying to draw this band out yet. But on this next round, we're gonna kind of start ramping that effort up and start letting this thing work for us. All right, so clip in and out. Back to our light setup. I think this is a really nice sort of easy setup to switch between. You can adjust sort of the different setups as much as you'd like as you get familiar with your hybrid rope. So now I'm actively gonna start speeding this up a little bit and trying to get that band to draw out. Again, that's the sweet spot with this hybrid rope, is being able to get that little bit of extra work out of something so light like this. Still keeping up the volume and the repetition. And I just like playing, so play around with that little alternating foot or single skips. All right. Switching back. This is where it's going to get fun. As we go into this second set of the split stance here, we're going to start putting a little bit of work behind this underhand race chase. Right on top of left. Now with this heavy elastic and short cord, you really got to put some effort in. I might not even be able to talk as much now to get that elastic to draw out. It really allows us to find some excellent aerobic work, anaerobic work in a stationary exercise like this. Pinky up, pinky up. Nice, all right. The jumping is going to become the easy part now, and that flow rope's really where the work's going to be. Keep throwing my other handle on the ground. There we go. Right to that jump. Ooh. Yeah, kind of cool to start feeling how single unders or traditional jump starts to be a little more comfortable comparative to a stationary exercise. See, I sort of just jumped right into doing a lot more of this alternating feet. Starting to feel warm. We're doing that second set now on this opposite split stance. Put in the work. My triceps are pumping a little bit from that other side already. Here we go. Now this might be, I know for me, it's my non-dominant side, so we're gonna find that work, but we're also training the brain, coordination, mobility on this non-dominant side. So you might need to slow down a little just to kind of find your rhythm. And then as like this 45 seconds counts down, start ramping up that speed. Ah, pinky up, pinky up, pinky up. All right. Clipping into that light set. Back to that easy jump rope. So something I like about this combo that we're doing specifically, note how when we typically jump rope, the rope sort of comes down in an overhand pattern. So it's chopping down, so I could jump over it. Whereas if we did like a backwards or reverse jump rope, it would do the opposite, or underhand, which is a little less common to see people try, because you trip up a little more. So in this little setup, note how when we switch to that underhand racing chase, how we're sort of gonna do the opposite flow or rope pattern that we're doing when we jump. So we sort of get the antagonist to it. It's a great way to make sure you're working both sides of swinging elements. So we're switching back to right stance, right on top of left. Yeah, note how if I go slow, see how that rope's going underhand now. It's opposite of what we were just doing for the jump rope. So even in these this simple pairing, we're getting a lot of little extra benefit for the brain and the body. And just for patterning as a whole. All right, we're getting there, guys. Back to this jump. There we go. Again, singles. Focus on getting that thumb out, palm forward. That'll kind of keep your shoulders back. Keep yourself working with that bearing. Feel free to play around with that little bit of skip rope. And almost let this be the easy, you know what I mean? All right, back to that heavy. Again, I'm going for that opposite split stance. So left in front, we got left on top now. If you're taking like a different split stance or different grip, there's a lot of variations you could do here. As long as you're being consistent about switching things up, don't worry about doing exactly what I'm doing. I'm more after this idea of underhand swing, overhand swing as we go through this whole workout. And again, this little setup here with the short center cord and the heavy elastic should ultimately be one of the hardest ways to use the hybrid rope. It has less weight out on the end to draw the band out for you. So to get that thing to stretch, you really gotta put some effort in. So it's really good for flow elements. Here we go. Definitely get a nasty forearm pump from this, and I just do not get from a normal speed rope. I'm still able to keep that volume up. Switching back in. All right, with that second stance. Actually, first stance again, sorry, right on top of left. Dominant stance. Really aggressive about those pinkies coming up. Just putting that extra work in to get that elastic to draw. And that's how we're gonna switch things up. For this last set, we're just gonna switch stances, and we're gonna hit this last set on this opposite stance. No more jump. So keep your heavy set up, switching stances. We're gonna leave this workout with this little underhand sequence. Ooh, left on top of right. Started wrong there. Really put that effort in to get those pinkies up. All right, we're out, guys. Hey, again, 15-minute intervals, pretty simple to do, not a lot of time, just 2 skills that are very simple. We got to play around with stance changes. We got the trunk moving a lot. We got some repetitive hitting of the ground with our feet, so building that plyo in the body. Again, that workout, it's awesome for just a daily practice. So getting in just a little bit of that effort every day, really good to mix in before or after, like a traditional strength and conditioning set. Just make sure, check out all the different hybrid rope workouts we're doing, the different exercises. Please tag us on social media at hybrid rope and at WeckMethod. Let us know how you're enjoying it. And then play around with different setups with this tool. So I did one that made it really easy just to switch back and forth. It allows us to be really repetitive, but play around with yourself. Everybody's gonna find little different mixes with this that feel right and amplify different experiences for you. So until next time, guys, we'll see you.